Okay, so I'm playing Terraria, and at the same time, like, I'm going to try and describe what I want to do with this magic system. Because, like, the magic system in Ruby was... I don't think it was, like, well explained. It's like it had thought, but then they never made any actual hard rules and kind of just based it on whatever. And, like, I guess they were trying to go for a soft magic system. It seemed like they were trying to go for a hard magic system and a soft magic system all at once without actually committing to anything. And then they were contradicting themselves and whatever to give a reason for why things are the way they are. And I guess it works if you can suspend your disbelief, but I find it rather hard to, like, concretely understand. And oh, well, okay then. So what I'm gonna try and do is make, like, an actual hard system with rules, because I have a preference for that. Something, I mean, just loose enough that you can work with it, but it has some hard, like, limits and rules. One of the things they tried to, like, emphasize is that your aura and your semblance is not magic. Right? So, this... you had this idea that it's not magic, so there's a limit to what each person can do. However, the way they show it is it's basically magic, and you can change your magic element with dust. And you can do things that are probably impossible. And then they tried to do, like, a sort of like a science-y kind of element to it, and it was hard to really grapple with. It's like they were trying to do the how hero powers work for My Hero Academia, but bad, is what it came off to me. So that's just my opinion. If you like the magic system, okay, I just have a slightly different preference. So here's what I'm thinking as far as, like, how the system works. Aura is not the power. Like, it's not the actual magic system itself. And of course it's gonna get a different name for the actual, like, thing that I'm doing for Titan. With this system, here's what I'm going to do. So, it's basically a leveled, it's a level up system is what I'm thinking. And I know it's like, oh, that's, well, very basic, yeah. But, so base level is that aura, which, how they showed it is that it's like some kind of magical force field that can do a passive healing effect so long as it hasn't been broken. So, like, for example, someone gets punched, they hit a wall that should have killed them as a normal person, their aura absorbs that damage or heals what damage would have been done near instantaneously at the cost of aura energy. And once that's broken, that passive healing effect is just gone. It cannot be transferred, it cannot be given. That is a personal shield for people, for the user of that aura. And so, like, base level, everybody has an aura of some kind going on. I don't really like how they're like, oh, some people have aura and some people don't, and that needs to be trained. Especially when you have things like the Grim running around. I feel like it's more likely, well, Grim and Dust, which we'll get to Dust. But, like, actually, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Gonna make some weapons, you know, have fun with it. But the aura, it feels like it should be something that is kind of closed off to that individual. Like, it shouldn't be something that can be transferred too much without that being like a special ability. Like, your aura is yours, and you can't give it, you can't transfer it. I didn't like the fact that they could transfer it to boost or whatever, because that feels like it should be like an in-between skill or a slightly advanced skill, or something that's like not the average person can do, but everybody starts out with an aura or this shield, right? This anime protagonist protection shield, right? And so everybody starts out with this. That's, you're born with it. You have it off the bat, but so it strengthens, I think, with use, but like incrementally so, if that makes sense. So like, if you are, for example, a farmer like Oscar was, you will get an increase in what sort of buffs your aura has. Like, you're doing a lot of heavy lifting, you are out in the elements, you might get attacked, so potentially you have a stronger, more defensive aura with maybe a bit higher, like, hit point range, I guess? So you got higher hit points, whereas, say, you have never left your home, you've never really done anything with your life, you are going to get one shot destroyed by something that hits you. But anybody who's, like, living a regular life, you know, like, you know, farmer, medical staff, etc., 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 generally aren't going to have this, the advanced, level aura. It's generally going to just be the basic protective aura. So people in this universe can take a lot of damage, but they may not entirely be able to dish it back. Now, I want, like... And I've been thinking about, like, the base power system, I actually think I want to go with... I know tone was a misspelling of tome, but tone as the base power system, I think would be alright. Maybe I'll think of something else, I don't know. But tone as the name of the base power system, I'm kind of into, specifically for the fact that, like, color, personality, expression is very important to the world of RWBY, and it should be very important here. So, your tone being the base power system, being the base magical system, I think would work. Though I guess tone could also work for the shield. Or the aura name. I don't know. Well, it's still in the works. But that's level 1. Everybody has level 1 aura. And your aura will build to a certain level, and then you hit level 2, which I haven't decided what level 2 is, but there's going to be a level 2 system, or yeah, level 2 power that is unique to the individual. I haven't figured out how that works yet, but there is a level 3. And then right after that is what would be the semblance, which is your ultimate attack. It is your unique skill and power, your unique thing, whether it's communicating with animals, super speed, warping, magnetism, etc, etc, etc. That is going to be level 2. Okay, going back to level 2, what it should be is like a hint to your ultimate ability, to your power, right? And most people do not hit level 2 because most people are not training for that level. Most normal people can go years without hitting level 2 just because it requires a certain level of constant training, potential traumatic experiences that just awaken level 2, or just really grinding, honestly. So like, most people will accidentally reach level 2, but most people will not, I think, inherently have hit the level 2 where they start showing signs of what their, skill is. So, for example, with Ruby, I think hers is like hyper speed, or it's like some kind of thing that like, and then there's the rose petal effect. So what I'm thinking is, oh my god, this light is lasting just way too long. But so what I'm actually like thinking is like, okay, when you start getting the you'll start showing the skill in little ways at first. Like, not quite minuscule, but like just little ways you will start showing. Like with Ruby, maybe she runs slightly faster than she really ought to at her age. Or she moves faster. Or, when she hits a certain speed while running, you get the rose effect, or something like that. Maybe with Yang, it starts with, I don't know. I don't really understand what hers is. Like, they call it a temper tantrum, but is she just a Super Saiyan where each time she gets hit or like she loses a fight, she gets stronger? I don't know. I don't know how I do that. But okay, so I do have this character, and her name is Nero. She is actually the Blake of the group, and I will show concept art later, whenever I get around to actually like drawing it. But so Nero, what I've got in mind for her ultimate skill is that she can control shadows. At least, like, this is idea. It might change, but I'm just using this as an example. This is the early draft of this character. She can control shadows. She can either blend into them, or they can, like, create, like, this sort of shield. Not shield, but, like, a barrier that makes her, like, hard to see. Maybe something that, like, she can melt into shadows. And I know this sounds like an OP power. I'm sure somebody with light powers or with a flashlight could fucking destroy her. So I don't think so. Anyway, the idea is that she wouldn't have these skills initially, like, at the start. She could maybe hide her presence. No, wait. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to, like, scale this. Maybe, is this, I wonder if this is how they ended up with scaling issues. But what I'm thinking is that, okay, now, here we go. So, Nero, she has the ability to, use shadows, right? And if there's a shadow, then she can either use it to hide herself, hide her presence, or if she has the addition of dust, she can use it as a weapon. But generally, hers is more hide and perception based, especially on, like, lower levels, where maybe the start of her entire thing is that she could change the way a shadow looked. Like, maybe she could make the shadow of a tree look like the shadow of a bunny, and she can change things. But as things gradually change, she can either control the shadow or use it to, at her ultimate skill, temporarily use it to shikamaru people. Something like that. I haven't worked it, but, like, final level would be, like, a mind maybe that shadow clone, I was gonna say shadow clone jutsu, but, like, either the shadow control or, like, was his name Toriyama? No, wait, hold on. the bird guy from My Hero Academia. I'm not, like, really into it. I just kind of know a thing or two about the powers. So something like that. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope this makes sense. But anyway, so base level, aura. Second level, or second tier, you start to show signs of special powers. Third tier, you have your special ability awakens, and that is your unique skill and superpower. With there might be tiers above that to as these people use their powers and learn skill up. God, okay. But, like, as they get stronger, more powerful, and etc., 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 they will be, let me see. They'll get more powerful, and there's going to be, like, further things. But, like, that's the basic idea is you have 3 unique, like, steps. I'm gonna refine that, like, because this is just a base thought. Base thought. But that would be aura, second step, semblance. Semblance is your final level. Dust. So, dust is not inherent to the magical system. It's more of an additive. and it'll either boost your power at a cost or change the element of your power at a cost of your original abilities effectiveness as it was. So maybe something like that. But it is an element in the world. It is not an actual element of the magic system. So, yeah. And too much dust used has a negative effect on the user and their whatever's going on. Anyway, I really didn't do much with Terraria here. I ended up talking and just pausing to talk about just this idea, and it wasn't even like super well thought out. But that's kind of the basic idea that I'm working with. I will try to refine it and like I will refine it and I will put out like an update on whatever else I come up with. For now, that's kind of it. That's all like where my thoughts have been. And I will see you next time. Unfortunately, I know I said in my last video that I was gonna play Amnesia. For some reason, it's not working and I don't have the time to fix it, so this is gonna have to be it, and I'm sorry.